right, Tiffany. So this is a pretty fun project that you've put together about being a mom and how everything's changed in the pandemic, that you're not working full time anymore. You're a stay-at-home mom right now. You're a teacher to your children, and you're also going to school yourself. So all of these challenges, and how you're handling it with some laughs and some frustrations. So let's start off looking at this technically. So your ISO is at 800. It jumps up to 1250 for one of these images, but you had a really slow shutter speed on that image. So that makes sense that you had to make that adjustment. Other than that, you're keeping it pretty low. Like we'd rather it be lower than 800 or 640, but you're shooting indoors and it's probably not as bright as you would want inside. Your aperture stays about the same for these. You have a couple wide open when you needed more light or more light for your exposure. So you had your aperture wide open. But overall, it makes sense that some of these would be the same aperture because you're working with this shallow area that you need in focus. You want the computer, you want the supplies, and your son in focus. All right, the light in your images, it looks like you have some windows open and you're also supplementing that with ambient light. Like we can see the kitchen lights on back here. We have that warmer look in the background, but then here it looks like there's some window light coming in. Here it looks like there's some window light coming in. So it's a combination of both. The color in your images is working really well as we go through the images. There's a lot of blue in your images, and you have your one son here that's wearing blue. But I think when we look at a series, it's nice to kind of find that color that we jump through in all of the images. So him wearing the blue here, the blue on the screen, a little blue on the book there, kind of a tone of blue from the computer screen and the phone, the helmet, what he has there, and then the shirt in the background. There's a lot of toys that are blue, and then the helmet and the blue shirt, blue over here, and then again here. So it kind of ties it together and helps us move through the image with a point of focus. Let's just double check the focus on these. I know there was one with camera shake, but here we have nice sharp focus, shallow depth of field. This is nice because the image tends to lead us to this phone, which is out of focus, but in the computer is a little bit out of focus, but his face is nice and sharp. So we kind of move through the image till we find our sharp point. And then we move back because of where you have the focal point. This is the one image that has a little bit of motion blur, but it's with the highest ISO. You can open up your aperture a little bit more on this. We see these two that are laying down. They're nice and sharp, but your little boy that's on top has a little bit of movement happening there. Here, the point of focus looks like it's more on the couch right here. His face falls a little bit out of focus, and then they are obviously out of focus. So watching that point of focus in this image, this looks good. That's such a fun image. All right, so the storyline is very clear, right? We're starting off with them. You make it clear, you set the stage with this image, welcome to first grade, and the composition book in front of them, and then being frustrated with the stack of books and his headphones. Here trying to get away with looking at his phone when he's supposed to have this worksheet that he's working on. Here it seems like he's like playing pranks on his teacher, or playing pranks on his brother. So this is really fun. My sister-in-law is a high school teacher, and she said that students have to show their face. They always have to be on camera, and kids are kind of like only showing their forehead so that they can be looking down at their phone, and just her frustration with that. So that made me think of this, where it looks like a helmet, and like he could almost play that that's part of him if he had to be showing his face. So this is the schoolwork and the frustration and the focus that come with that. And then here's just like playtime, 4 boys all going at it, all the toys everywhere, like water guns, looking at their tablet, reading a book, like everything that's going on, superheroes everywhere. And then here, this is a really nice ending picture where it's the kids are all working on their homework and bringing you questions, which you look confused by the science book. This kid's bringing a tablet to you. This kid has his composition book. And then you have your camera down here and your computer wide open for you to work on your own work. So this is a really nice image to bring it all together with your super mom shirt on and kind of finishing out the night with all of the madness that happens. So really beautiful, cohesive series that you've put together. Like I said, there's a couple of technical things as far as focus and movement, but other than that, this came together really well. Looks like maybe this is more video games instead of instead of homework. I'm trying to figure out what this line is that's separating them. Yeah, I think you did a great job. This is really fun, easy storyline to follow and captures the moment and what everyone's going through. That's moms and taking on this, or dads taking on this challenge of teaching at home. Nice work. Really great way for you to wrap up this semester.